So I want to talk trends. You can go home from this conference and talk intelligently to your significant other when you're asked your opinion about what you should do. So these are some trends that are coming on home fashion. I just thought I'd share them with you here today. But trends are important. Trends are where we're all going, but we designers don't just dream up these trends. They have to feel right to you when you arrive at that point when the trends are out there. And in general, we tend to work 3 to 5 years out on color trends. That's what you see here. Things are skewing warmer and more contemporary. There's a bit of nostalgia that we play and work on, but there are more patterns. And more use of natural materials is another trend that's coming. Certainly, we haven't let go of the past yet. We think the past was a great thing. There are people out there who really wish that we were still like the olden days, though we really don't want that. And because the products we're making today are better than the ones that were made in the past, but there's a feeling about them that feels right. This happens to be trend analysis out of Restoration Hardware. They do a good job of creating new products that make you feel like the past. But there is this skewing at the moment to bolder colors, a greener, more natural palette, and more contemporary design. From a form standpoint, we do see form changing at the moment. The forms are familiar, but we're seeing a change and a shift in them. And so, again, early adopters and moving forward, when you make a choice on a product, we need to know what you're going to want in your home from a home fashion standpoint 3 to 5 years from now. So there is a change. Forms, these are some that are just recently on the market. They are getting edgier, more uses of colors and more uses of color and finish mixture. Finishes are also changing. There's a wider range available. We're seeing it more in hardware and lighting, but the finishes tend to be warmer and reference more natural things. So it's really crazy, but we make product choices, even though they aren't natural products, that feel more like the rest of our world and the rest of our environment. Drama is still part of what we do, and as people are looking things to make their lives better and happier, this is a case of simple forms, but the red handle there is play and drama, and how can we put that into our lives? Proportions are changing. You're going to see, I think, a radical shift in the next couple of years of how much material and how it's used. Sadly, in my group, we consider ergonomics really important, but there are designs coming on the market that are occurring where drama trumps ergonomics. And so what it looks like still at times wins out over how it feels to use. A nice trend that we see coming is thinner and taller. And I wonder if that isn't just wishful thinking on all the parts of the American public. Who knows? So we're choosing products that will project who we wish we were. With the use of more natural materials, we're seeing some of these retro designs certainly to becoming part of what we're doing. Electronics. You're seeing more and more electronics. The problem with them is so many of them have a new feature or function or gimmick, but they're not solving any problem. And so that's what we really have to weigh as designers. When do we use electronics to really improve the quality of a person's life or the choices they make versus just the gee wow factor? So material choices, also important and critical in design. And there are green materials out there, or materials that are perceived to be green. Here's a whole collection. These are all highly manufactured products. We would have purchased them in the past. They would have been made out of synthetic materials. They probably still are, but they look like stuff you found in your backyard that you turned into for real products. The lighting, the combination of paper, the twig basket, the fuzzy lamp up there, it's a crunchy, fuzzy, natural sort of feel. And again, this is an emotional reaction that people are having to the choices they make. They want to choose products that project who they want to be and what they want to be and how they want other people to judge them. We're seeing more natural palette being used. More colors are actually coming into the line in the next couple of years. A lot of green. You wouldn't think we'd be that literal, that to have a green product, it would be a green color, but you know, we as humans are that clever. Tattooing is big at the moment. among non-boomer generations. Well, I shouldn't say that. A lot of boomers have tattoos. But the notion of how can I purchase products that, again, have a custom or handmade or bespoke look to them. So we're seeing a lot of things with texture and pattern or colors and graphics on them. It's tattooing the products in our home so that they feel like we have a custom-made or a handmade as opposed to manufactured. Again, natural materials. The attempt to project in our designs that we're using more natural materials than we were before, whether we are or not. But from a design standpoint, what we're doing is exposing the natural materials or putting finishes on them so you can see them. And we're trying not to make them as uniform as before, but to give you the variations that are in nature. And so when we're doing a bathroom, this is one we put together. The use of the wood flooring and the light colors and the green, how do we give that fresh, natural look? Glass is another biggie, highly recycled material, so a lot of people equate glass with environmental and green. And same thing here with the grass matting, the pictures, the wallpapers that's chosen, the colors. All of these things work together to give a perception of who people are and what they want to be. And this last one I'll show you, this is a collection that we sell today. All the finish is bamboo. And bamboo, highly renewable resource, but bamboo in itself, just the texture and quality, gives people that feeling of environmentally friendly or green or responsible. And again, with the use of glass, we're seeing that occur. So how is the conservation movement, or how is what you're all doing impacting my team and the design world, is what I want to talk about next. So let's start with toilets. When I was a kid, you know, we changed out our toilet every 6 months. And we had a couple of what were referred to, and I don't remember the product name, but they were called lowboy toilets. And I think about them today. You know, toilets are gravity flush. These must have been anti-gravity toilets because the water was so low in the toilet bowl that gravity had no effect whatsoever. I mean, there was no downhill. And I remembered the toilets, when you flushed them, it took a long, long time to flush because it took a long time for that, with almost no gravity, for that water to get going. And they flushed on 7 gallons of water. But it was a look. Low profile, fabulous, clean. Nothing said modern and contemporary like a low one-piece toilet. That's changing because of new codes. Again, this is an old American standard toilet. At one point, this was what was considered great in a one-piece. Seamless, easy to keep clean, fit in a small space. You can see it's fairly short as far as the bowl goes. But again, this one probably flushed on 5 gallons of water.